Right, quick emergency update over on BTC USD. In this video, I'm going to be talking about two charts that we've got in the macro time frame for Bitcoin, because in both of these charts, we've started to capitulate below the last lines in the sand that we have before we could witness a move down to $23,000. Also, if you're a seasoned veteran to my channel, then you'll know that I don't use the term emergency lightly. In fact, if you go through my entire channel, you'll see that I do not use the word emergency in any of my videos because there has not been the time to use the word emergency. But at this moment in time, we're sitting at a very, very crucial level. Support and resistance gets weaker and weaker the more times you come down to it. We've come down to this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. This is the 5th time we've come down to it now, so this is getting weaker and weaker and weaker every time we go down to it. I'm going to be talking about this Bitcoin chart as well, because we've already started to capitulate below it as well, but let's jump right into this. Now, first of all, if you are new to the channel as well, warm welcomes. If we look at the 4-hourly time frame, we are really dumping into this last line in the sand. Now, I could probably find just one more level down from where we are here, and I will do that in just 1 second. But I want to talk about the fact that we've broken down, we've had this bear flag, we've broken down from the bear flag, and we've come down to this last line in the sand. While we've come down to this last line in the sand, we have our momentum indicator, which is the squeeze bomb, ticking back over into the light red, indicative that bears are really getting ready to plummet us to the downside. While this is happening, we're seeing a massive increase in the volume traded to the downside. For example, the last 4-hourly candle, we saw 534 Bitcoin sold. Over on this 4-hourly candle, we're seeing 341 Bitcoin being sold. And this is specifically just on Kraken. I want to head over to some of the leverage exchanges like Bybit and Binance, because I imagine there's probably a lot more volume going over on these charts. I really only use these charts to look at the volume, by the way, if you're wondering why they're so plain. Over on Binance, 16,000 Bitcoin sold in the past 4 hour. In this 4-hourly candle, which is only 2 hours and 23 minutes in as the time of recording this, 7,800 Bitcoin sold. If we head over to Bybit, 31,000 Bitcoin sold in the past 4 hour, 16,500 sold here. Looking at the daily time frame, 61,000 sold on Bybit, and Binance, 32,000 sold. So a lot of Bitcoin is being sold as we are coming down to these levels. This is absolutely not what you want to see. In fact, you want to, if you're breaking down to these levels, you want to see bullish volume coming back in, like we saw, like we saw here, like we saw here and here while we were coming back up, and almost like we saw here. But as you can see, when you do get this big sea of red coming in, you're very likely to take out the bottom. Now, in the last video, I did already talk about the fact that we did break down from this massive triangle pattern. You can see this big purple ascending triangle has broken down. Because of this, we did flip bearish in the short term. We said, at least in the short term, we're coming down to 28,600, and we'd need to reevaluate what the market is doing as we're coming down to this level. And that is what we're doing now. We are breaking down very heavily with a lot of volume coming in. I really want to see Bitcoin hold 28,600, but I actually really want to see it go all the way down to 20,000. Why? I'm a long-term hodler of Bitcoin. I really don't sell Bitcoin. I love buying cheap Bitcoin. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I've been saying I have buy orders set at 25, 24, all the way down in increments of $1,000 to 19,000. And bear in mind, I do not think we're going all the way down to 19. I even find it hard to believe that we might go down to 20. My price target is 23,000. But I am willing to put lower buy orders in case that happens. So bear in mind, a lot of people were kind of worried and they don't want to see Bitcoin break down. I've been buying Bitcoin for years and years and years, and I love these cheap prices because it reminds me of when I was buying Bitcoin back here in January of 2020 or December of 2020. These are great prices to buy at, in my opinion, for the long term. Are they good prices to buy at for the next week, for the next month? I do not think so. I think we're heading down lower. But if you're like me and you plan on buying Bitcoin, slapping it in a Ledger wallet, and then not even checking it, like I don't even know how much GBP value is associated with my Ledger wallet because I don't check and I really don't care. I know how many Satoshis I've got. That's all that matters in my opinion. With that being said, this is really your last line in the sand. Now, if we come over to the daily time frame, you can see we have had candle body closes down here before, and we have had a wick down to 28,580. Let me make sure that is the approximate value. 28,570. So in my opinion, if we do start moving below 28,570, by the end of the day, if we start putting in daily candle body closes below it, we might be coming down to 23,000. Now, but we do have the next FOMC meeting it's on the 15th, so we've got about another 4 days until the next FOMC meeting. And according to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group, the CME, if we come over to the probabilities, they are predicting a 100% likelihood of a increase rate hike. Now, why is this important? If you haven't watched my channel before, maybe you haven't heard of the interest rate hikes, but let's go back to what happened on the 3rd of May. I don't even need to kind of clarify that this is the date. I know this is the date because I'm looking at the price, and from the 5th of May, I did say that right? So the 4th of May was the FOMC meeting. The 5th of May, obviously we had the interest rate hike, 50 basis points on the 4th of May. After then, we came down, I think, 36% from this rate hike. And if we do have another massive interest rate hike in the next 4 days, I do believe Bitcoin is going to be carried all the way down to 23,000. Why do I think we're heading down to 23,000? If we come over to this macro chart, this was your last line in the sand at 29,000. We've capitulated below that. The next level to keep your eyes on is the 200-week moving average. By the time we come down to this can be anywhere between the ranges of 22,400 to 23,000. I think it's going to be closer to 23 by the time we get to it. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think of that down below. And just quickly, why do I think we're coming down to the 200-week moving average? Well, let's take it back a step. In fact, let's take it back a few steps. Where did we bottom in 2015? If we extrapolate this trend line back a bit, you can see candle body close bottom, candle body close bottom, candle body close bottom, candle body close bottom, bull run. Yes, we did have wicks below it. That's why I'm specifying candle body close. Let's come over to the 2018 bear market. Clear this up. Came down, candle body close, bottom. Candle body close, higher high, W pattern out. That was the bottom. What happened in the 2020 pandemic scare? March 2020 came down, candle body close, bottom, candle body close of the next week, bottom. We V-shaped recovered out of here. Yes, once again, we did have wicks below this. This is why I'm specifying the candle body close on the 200 week is normally always where we bottom in every market cycle so far. Now, I also would like to wrap up this video stating that if we do come over to Bitcoin divided by the M2 money supply, so once again, if you're new to my channel, you might not understand this concept, or you might not have heard of this before. The M2 money supply, it is basically a measure of how much money there is in the economy. So for example, the US dollar has been massively printing for the past couple of years now. Money print to go brr for the past couple of years, really, past few years. And because of that, that money, that printed money, that artificially low interest rate money, all the, stimmies, all of that good stuff, that found its way into the crypto market. And because of that, Bitcoin was able to rally to these crazy prices. Like you can see at this moment in time, from the previous all-time high in 2019, Bitcoin is up 43%. If we go over to the M2 money supply, so this is, when we divide BTC USD by the M2, we're accounting for the money supply. So this is basically saying this is the Bitcoin chart if there was no inflation. And when you do see what the Bitcoin chart would look like if there's no inflation, we've already capitulated below the all-time high. We've already almost come down to the 200 weeks. So the bottom could be sooner than you think. In my opinion, we are in a completely different environment than we have been previously. So that is something that you need to note. Bear in mind, you really would want to wait for, daily candle body closes below 28,000, 28,500, 28,600. Either way, we are at the last line in the sand now. If we do want to see a rally up to 34, 36, 38,000, in my opinion, it really needs to happen in the next couple of days, because coming into the FOMC meeting, if they do increase the interest rates once again, we are very, very likely to drop. Just a quick tidbit, if we check out the Bitcoin dominance is massively, massively breaking to the upside. This means that no matter if Bitcoin price goes up or it goes down, Bitcoin is going to be massively outperforming the altcoins. I've been talking about this for the past month now, and we're finally seeing this macro break. Be very, very cautious if you're invested in altcoins right now. All the alt BTC charts look like this. They look absolutely garbage. I very, very much advise against investing in altcoins while we're in a bear market. Just my opinion. You can do what you want, but yep, not looking too good. Bitcoin dominance is going to the moon. Bitcoin is going to continue to outperform these altcoins. We are seeing a tiny bit of a bounce from this level, but you know, we really need to start waiting for daily candle body closes. It doesn't matter what happens in the next couple of days, the next 4 hours, 8 hours. It really matters how we react to this price level, in my opinion. So keep your eyes on 28.6, keep your eyes on 28.5. I really do not want to see a big move below there, especially a daily candle body close. All I've got for you today, as always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.